Hey everybody, okay, this is a short video to talk about why EOS helps build a better company. So let's dive right into it. So when we talk about EOS, what we are talking about is the entrepreneurial operating system. And when we talk about operating systems are nothing more than a system that helps everything work together. Now, when we tend to think of operating systems or OSs, we tend to think of computers or cell phones, or a lot of people do. And what those operating systems do is we can have dozens or hundreds of programs on our phones or on our computer, and they all work together, ideally harmoniously, while they're sharing resources and trying to operate concurrently. And this is what operating systems do. Now, we may think of it in a technical concept, or a technical area, but this is something that we should all be familiar with because we see operating systems, we live with operating systems every single day. When we are on the highway, think about it. We've got millions of drivers. We've got all sorts of different types of vehicles, whether it's trucks or motorcycles or cars, and they're all working with a shared resource being the road together, ideally harmoniously. Definitely not always it's the case in Connecticut. But that is an operating system about how all these different drivers and vehicles are going to operate together. Now, here's the thing. Not all places have the same set of rules. There's different operating systems in different places. So when we think about it in the United States, when we see pedestrians in certain places like crosswalks, we stop for them. But in China, we would get a ticket for that because there is no stopping for pedestrians. Vehicles have the right of way. And when we think about headlights here in the United States, most of the states say turn on your lights from sundown to from sundown to sunrise. And in Sweden, they want them on 24 hours a day. You get a ticket if you do it that way, if you do it the way you do in the United States. In Germany, no speed limits on their Autobahn, their highway. In the US, we do have speed limits. And if you're curious, that is what a sign looks like that says no speed limits. That's the Autobahn no speed limit sign. Super cool. All right. Now just imagine if you were a US driver and you went to England and you said, hey, you know what? I learned to drive the right way. I learned to drive on the right-hand side of the road. I get that they do it differently here, but I really learned the way you're supposed to do it. And so I'm just going to keep driving on the right side regardless. It'd be chaos. It would be chaos. We got to follow the operating system of where we are at. Yet when we think about companies, when people come into companies, when you've come into companies, when I come into companies, we think we already know the right way. We've learned at companies that we've operated at. We basically look at it and say, I know what a VP of business development is, where I've always learned this is what they do. I understand what the statistics or KPIs should be for what we're measuring because that's what I've learned. Employees reviews should be occurring this frequently. Meetings should happen at this type of regularity. All these things we all bring in from all these different companies, and we take the things that we've learned and we try to all bring it together. And what we have are multiple operating systems operating in our companies, all with good intention, but some of those things work together and some of those things do not. And so what we need to have in our businesses, in our organizations to help us be able to work as a unit, to reduce the friction, to reduce the frustration, to reduce the wasted time, is we need to have a single operating system. And when we have that, it will drive alignment and coordination and cooperation and performance and execution and so many more things. That is why EOS is so important, because what EOS is nothing more than 20 tools, no more, no less, exactly 20 tools that we put into a business to help create a single operating system for that organization. And today it's being used by over 130,000 businesses. Today, there's over 1.6 million books sold on this subject. Hopefully, a good chunk of those are being read. And when we have that operating system in the business, you know what we get? We get a business that the vision is strong, where everybody understands where we're going and how we're going to get there. We have solid traction where everybody's working with accountability and discipline and excitement to get to that vision. And we have healthiness because we are not bumping into each other and working in all these crazy ways. We're working together as a team and as a unit. People like to be there. They're having more fun because they are winning. The friction and the frustration has kind of moved out of the way. Move my little video out of here, but there's something that Patrick Lencioni says. He says, if you could get all the people in an organization rowing in the same direction, you could dominate an industry in any market against any competition at any time. And I get it. Some of you may be saying, well, yeah, great. Who's Patrick Lencioni? Well, he's only one of the best business authors and best business consultants out on the market today. He speaks in all sorts of places for $1 gazillion. And this was told to him by a billionaire that had built their business up from nothing. So this is what EOS is going to help us do, is get everybody aligned, working in the same way. And when you think about EOS, this is skills. These are trainings. This is training that you are building into your own career development. Because when you learn EOS, you're learning how to run an organization in a predictable way. You're learning how to manage capacity, one of the hardest things for any manager to do, both for you and your team. You're learning how to manage people. You're learning how to construct standardized processes. You're learning how to accentuate your attention on profit generating activities. All of these things are learned skills that you can apply in your business and really start to drive in your department and organization to allow for it to run more capably. So that's basically where we wanted to convey, or what we wanted to convey today. If your company is using EOS, I urge you, I encourage you, I implore you, become a master of these tools. Become one of the best operators in your business, knowing that you can build anything that can take you anywhere because you know how to structure a business, get people aligned, and get everybody marching in the same direction. And if your company is just thinking about using EOS, do it. I don't think there's a too small a point to have structure, organization, vision, traction, healthiness in the business. Get things going as quickly as you can. And that's kind of the wrap up. Who am I? Who is this? Our organization is called Outpace. We're an EOS implementation company. We have 5 coaches here, but we create content because we want people to have better businesses and better lives. And so you can subscribe to our my YouTube channel. Each of the coaches have one. You could talk to me or one of the other coaches here. We have a client resource center where you have all sorts of content and tools that can help you out as well. That's the link there, and you just got to go click on a link to register, and then you're good to go. But help us help you. We would love to do it. We love seeing companies thrive. Thank you for your time. Hope you get to use EOS as quickly as possible, and reach out if you have any questions. Thanks, everybody.